your hands up for Cobbs County Single Barrel Reposado!
You're a rebel, getting into trouble. You're kind of like a fire, like a fire, like a fire.
Hello, welcome to this episode of Q&A with the Ombre. Happy Monday, everybody. Hope you're having a great day and a great start to your week. So what's going on, everybody? What are you guys doing? Hopefully you're sipping on some really good tequila or agave spirits right now. And hopefully you got some good questions for me today that we can address for you. I am sipping on El Tesoro Single Barrel Reposado. This is the special Tequila Barrel Collective pick from when we did it last year. So you can see all the barrel information on it. Ex-bourbon barrel. Is it aged 9 months? Bottle 58 out of 240. And a 40.3% alcohol by volume. There you go. So I'm sipping this today because, well, we're doing another one. The Tequila Barrel Collective is doing another one, and we're excited about that. So that's really cool. If you guys aren't a member of the Tequila Barrel Collective, make sure you join because this one sells out. We sold out this one in 3 days on the last time, so it's going to sell out. So if you want to make sure that you get a bottle, make sure you join the collective. The link is in the description below. It costs $10 a month. And not only do you get to be a member of the collective to get access to these buys, you also get a discount on the Tequila Collective buys, and you also get access to our community on Discord, which is actually really, really cool. Everyone gets along famously, sharing information, sharing their thoughts and opinions on things, all kinds of questions asked, all kinds of information shared. It's a great community for those people that want to come in and be a part of a tequila and agave spirit community and learn and answer questions and just, be amongst a bunch of really cool people. So it is $10 a month to join the collective, and I highly recommend it because we got some really cool buys coming up. And if all the members buy them first, there's not going to be any left to put up on Ferment and Still. And now, for those of you that do know, the Cascanes Single Barrel Reposado has landed in Southern California. It wasn't all purchased by the members, so we do have some that we let Ferment and Still open up to the public. So that's going on now. The cases are supposed to arrive in a warehouse tomorrow, so they'll start shipping tomorrow and Wednesday. All the people got their orders in already. And those people that are members of the collective got theirs for a discounted price. And then they're the ones that get shipped first. And then everybody else's will get shipped after that. So if you haven't gotten your order in, make sure you do so. We have sold most of it. So there's a little bit left. And then once it's gone, it's gone. And trust me, this was the best single barrel Cascanes that they had. It was amazing. So much that even some of the guys that work for Cascanes are buying bottles so they can have some. Now, one of the things too is we talked about on Saturday doing a group tasting and talking, and on the Cascanes Single Barrel Reposado. We haven't picked a date on it yet because we're going to wait to ensure that people on the East Coast get theirs before we do it. But I got John Paul Fortunati, the CEO of Cascanes. He's going to join us for it. So he's got a bottle that he's going to do a tasting from as well. And we're all just going to taste together, and he can answer questions and talk, and it'll be really good. So that will be on the Tequila Hombre channel here as well. And then, of course, it's the members that are the ones that, the members on the YouTube channel that are the ones that get to ask him questions and converse with him and stuff. while we're live on YouTube. So it should be a lot of fun. We got a lot of stuff going on. Again, if you just missed it, the collective will be doing a single barrel reposado with El Tesoro. I got the tasting kit been ordered. It's coming. And if you are interested in getting involved in that, it's just as easy as joining the collective. It's $10 a month. It's like 1.5 Starbucks coffees a month. And you get so much more information and stuff from the community, as well as you get discounts on the buys. And occasionally too, we throw ferment and still discounts to the members there as well. And then if you're a member of YouTube, you get special access to special buys like the Sarah de Luz. That was purchased all by YouTube members, but also the YouTube members are the ones who get to ask questions during the live streams. And this week I have 2 very special live streams on Tuesday and Wednesday. For those of you that aren't on the Discord, if you were a member of the collective, you would have known this because I told them this today. But tomorrow we're going to have Salvador Chavez come on and join us from La Luna Mezcal, and he also owns Ground du Vejo. So we're going to talk about his tequila and mezcal adventures, and we're also going to do some tastings on some of the La Luna stuff that I've recently picked up. And then on Wednesday, we have David Ravandi from El Luchador will be joining us to answer questions and talk about his new El Luchador that's been released. And then and so that's going to be great as well. And of course, if you're a member of the YouTube channel, you guys are the ones that get to comment and ask questions to both of these gentlemen during the live stream. So if you're not a member of YouTube and you want to ask questions and talk to these producers and stuff when we have them on, join. It's $10 a month as well. It's 1.5 Starbucks coffees a month, and you get access to do stuff like this. I do a single happy hour with the Ombre or Q&A with the Ombre with just members, and then of course you guys get priority on the special buys when we get them in for ferment and still, where in the case of like the Sarah de Luz, they're the only ones that got them. So we only got a case, and all 6 bottles went to members. And we've got some more stuff that we're going to be giving away to members too on the YouTube channel. So on the members only, after this, YouTube members, make sure you stick around because I'm going to be talking to you about that. I got some stuff to give away, so I need to coordinate that with you guys and get it set up for one of our live streams that we're going to be doing. You guys are going to kind of get to participate in it. So it's going to be really cool, a lot of fun. All right, so there, I got all my announcements. One more announcement. I forgot to tell you guys. Tomorrow is the 4th birthday of the Tequila Hombre. The Tequila Hombre started tomorrow in 2018. So it's the Hombre's, not my personal birthday, but it is Tequila Hombre Channel's 4th birthday tomorrow. So that should be fun. We'll try to think of something fun to do to celebrate 4 years of the Tequila Hombre, right? Or not, throw eggs or, do some, I don't know, do something. All right, let's not waste any more time now. Let's get in with our subscribers and see what's going on today. Hey, the one, hola, ¿cómo está? Bienvenido, welcome. Hey, Shaman. Hola, hello. Hey, Fitz. Hola. Todd Gilbert, he's here in the house. Abel, how you doing, buddy? Hola, ¿cómo está? Todd is sipping on some Mezcal MG. Very nice. That's the Mezcal Gin. That's actually really good. And it starts out tasting like a gin, but then it transitions to like a Mezcal, which I think is really interesting. I enjoy the flavor profile on that one. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah, baby. He's sipping on some Ray Saul. He had to tell me about it. And I just have to be jealous now. And I have to say, oh, baby, he makes me want to sing. Oh, yeah. I love my Ray Saul.
All right, so we got that out of the way. Where was that? Ray Saul. Okay, then Abel says, up in the hands. Yes. Bonnie. Welcome, Bonnie. Glad you can make it today. Bienvenido. Agave Bobby Dell. Welcome. Bienvenido. Glad you can make it.
Deputy Sandoval, welcome. Glad you can make it. Hope you're ready for duty.
There you go. You're sipping on some Agua del Sol Tobasiche tonight. Oh, good. And Todd says, Shaman, that's good stuff. Your thoughts? He's had it before. You know his thoughts. He's expressed his thoughts with you on it before, Todd. How fun, single barrel El Tesoro. Yeah, it's going to sell out fast. So those of you guys that are members, you guys are lucky. And so far, when I did the interest thing, it looks like, most of it's going to be gone. So hopefully some other people would want to join and partake. And if they do that, then we'll make sure everybody that's a member gets one if they want one. So gets at least one if they want one. Sipping Cuscan is Hoven. You love this. It's good stuff. You can't beat it. Yeah, it's really good. David Ravani is wonderful to listen to. He's witty and informative. And his Tequila 123 is out of this. It's very good. But we're talking El Luchador tomorrow. We're not going to get into 123. We're talking El Luch, because that's his new project. That's what we want to talk about. Oh yeah, cheers. Happy birthday to Tequila Hombre. Yay! 4 years tomorrow. 4 years tomorrow. And it went by so fast. Hey, thank you. Thank you. I think to celebrate the occasion, you should call the tequila police. Yeah. 4 years. I made it 4 years. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. Thanks, guys. I should turn some music up here. Well, thank you. Yes, thank you. Happy 4 years. Can't believe it's been that long. It's like, wow. 2018 is when we started the Tequila Hombre channel. That's pretty crazy. All right, so now that we're off with that, let's start getting into you guys' questions and comments and stuff. Everyone always usually has some good questions. I know you guys, some of you guys asked about the Netta Espadin Capone that we did a tasting on. I checked with the distributor today, and it is out of stock because it's completely sold out. Then they're not getting any more because it's done. But they will have a new version of it out in the wintertime. So we'll have to jump into some other mezcals and stuff for you guys to get involved with until it comes back out. And then we can revisit it and see what the new expression's like and if we like it as much as the one that we did the tastings on. So I know you guys really like that one. So I think it's good. All right. So other than that, what's going on? What kind of questions can I answer for you? I know a bunch of you said you were going to take off and watch Better Call Saul or something. Better Call the Ombre. Salute. Here's to 4 years. Everyone salute. Oh, and I should know, for those of you too that aren't members, you probably don't know this as well, but I'm actually working on doing a single barrel with El Tequileno as well. So those of you that are members, of course, will get access to that first. And I should get some information from Tony tomorrow. I messaged him today. I still need to do the tasting on that to check the barrel out. I have the bottle somewhere. Oh, what did I do with it? I think it's on the back bar back there. But we're going to be looking to doing a single barrel with El Tequileno. So one of the first that they're doing it through a barrel select program. So that should be really great too. So we have Cascanas coming in tomorrow. We got El Tesoro in the works. We got El Tequileno single barrel in the works. We got Carrera 108 proofs Blanco coming, and we got Viva Mexico special edition crazy good Blanco. It's a 23, so 46 proof, 43%, so an 86 proof Viva Mexico. So we have all these things in the works, so you guys don't want to miss out on this. Don't let $10 a month stop you from getting involved and getting some of this stuff, because it's going to be really, really, really good. All right, so Abel says, what time are the happy hours with the Ombre? 6 p.m. Yeah, we're not calling it happy hour anymore, but it is. Both of them are 6 p.m. Yeah, 6 p.m. Tuesday and 6 p.m. Wednesday. It's just tequila talk with the Ombre now. The happy hour thing died a while back. Got a Luchador Repo and the 110 in today. Sampled both expressions. Wow, both are excellent. Yeah, so you can actually drink with us on Wednesday and ask questions of David Ravandi. But yeah, it's really good. I already polished off my Repo bottle, and the 110's like, I'm finished that one too. I got new bottles of each of them. So, and then the regular Blanco I'm working on too. So I'm drinking all of them. It's a really good tequila. It is really good. I like it a lot better than the 1480 version of El Luchador. So they're good. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. All right. So what is this? Does your distributor have any other expressions of Netta available right now? We have some expressions of Netta still up on the site, I think, right? Did all of it sell out? We have some. I don't think all of it's sold out, is it? I don't know. I'll have to look. But check on Ferment and Still. If we have it, it's up. If they have it, it's up. I think we have some of Netta still on, but we haven't gotten into those yet for reviews and stuff. So, but Malbien is supposed to be coming out with a new line, and I'm waiting for information on that. So we'll probably do some Malbien tastings on Tuesdays for those, because Malbien does some good stuff. It's all gone. Okay, it's all gone then. No, it's if it's done. If it's done unfermented still, it's done. No mas. It all sells out pretty quick. They don't do a whole lot of it, so it's not like they make a ton of it. The batches are very small. It's not like the barrel with the barrel buys. We get 240 bottles of El Tesoro, and we get less with the Cascanes. And less with some of the other barrels that we're going to be doing buys on too. So those are very limited edition as well. What makes a new El Luchador so different in flavor profile from the previous? It's done at a different distillery. So they went Los Altos with it. It's no longer 1480. So they went and they're using Altos agave. And then I'll have David talk more about that. And talk about his like plan and what he wanted to do, what he wanted to accomplish with it when we have him on Wednesday. It should be a good conversation. How can we get El Luchador Tequila? Can you explain the membership and how to become a member? Yeah, El Luchador is on Ferment and Still. We have it. It's in stock on Ferment and Still, so you can order it from there. To become a member, if you look down, there's links in the description. It says become a member. There's members of the YouTube channel and members of the Discord. The Discord is the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective membership. So there's 2 memberships for $10. Both of them are the same. They just have different names. So that you can go with aficionado or you can go with TBAC member. Either or, they're the same exact membership. Originally, it was called an aficionado membership, but then I added another one with this, duplicated it with the name TBAC member, just so people weren't confused if they were looking for the TBAC membership. So those 2 are the same. So pick one. It doesn't matter. All the memberships on the Discord get the TBAC memberships included. Now for the YouTube, that's a separate membership, and that's the one where you get to ask questions during the live streams. Those are members only. You get the members only Q&A with Ombre after this as well, where we talk about more stuff in depth. And then also when people have questions that they want to ask me about what to buy or stuff like that, it's the members that get the priority access to asking questions and stuff. Matter of fact, I had a member yesterday message me and he couldn't believe that I responded to him. But he was asking me questions on Easter and I was answering them for him. And he was surprised. It's like, well, that's what you get. Membership, that's what you get. Membership has its privileges, right? So, all right. So, I grabbed the last 2 bottles of the Neta Espadín and Madre Kush. It's my favorite Mezcal Destilado. I've had in the last year. I hope they make more because more people need to try it. So I agree. It is very good. And they're making more. They come out with batches every winter. So that's the thing, is they'll have more that come out. But it's just sometimes it's different expressions, different stuff. So what is that? I had to double check. I didn't accidentally get the regular Blanco of El Luchador. Couldn't believe I was, yeah. Yeah, it's very easy to drink, right? It doesn't taste like a 110. I agree. It's very, very good. I agree. It's all very good. People are going to be, now, you know how people always talk about 1, 2, 3 now, and they're like, oh yeah, 1, 2, 3 is great, 2 is great, I love 3, blah, blah, Diablito, blah, blah, blah. People are going to be talking about El Luchador. It's going to be, once enough people get it, it's going to be the one that people are talking about, more so than like Fortaleza and stuff like that. People are going to be going, wow, have you tried the El Luchador Repo? It's very complex, very different. It's amazing in the flavor profile. People are going to be talking. You're going to see people posting and talking about it all over social media. It's going to take off like crazy. And hey, you're one of the first to know about it. So you could be a leader and get some and talk about it and post about it on social media. And then people will be like, dude, you were like one of the first people talking about it on social media. You're a trendsetter, you know? So I recommend grabbing some. This batch that they did here is beautiful. It turned out great. Very, 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 very happy with it. I like it a lot. So, Mezcal MG is so different from anything I've ever had. Well, it's a gin that's based as a mezcal. So, for me, when I drink it, it starts tasting like a gin, and then it finishes tasting like a mezcal. So I enjoy it a lot. I think it's different, but it's also very good. I enjoy the flavors. And if you look on the side of the bottle, it tells you all the different flavorings and stuff that they use in it, all the different what's it called there, florals, all the different florals that they put in it. This gin, you know, they put a bunch of different stuff in there, like juniper berries and... Hey, hola, Brian. Looking forward to another good week in Tequila Talk. Thanks. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, this week's going to be great. It's going to be great. And all the guys that are members are really excited because they get to ask all the questions and stuff to both these gentlemen. And we're going to get Salvador talking about all kinds of things. I'll talk to him. Well, I'll get him talking about Grande Vejo too, about his tequila. And then we'll jump into the La Luna. And then I've got some bottles of La Luna that I have that we haven't talked about yet. So we'll talk about those and have him tell us about the production and stuff on them, and then open it up for the members to ask questions and stuff. So it should be a really exciting week. And then David Ravandi's great. He's gonna be amazing. I think you guys are gonna really like. I had him on once before for a happy hour with the Ombre, and he was great. He's great. He's a good friend of mine, and I'm looking forward to having him share his passion and his project, the El Luchador project, and kind of explain to you what he wanted to do with that and why he did it and stuff like that. So, botanicals. That's the word I was like. Botanicals. That's the word I was looking for. You can pick out most of it, but you can't taste the pepper. The pepper. I don't have the bottle with me to know it. But normally it's produces like a green, it's not necessarily spicy, but normally it's like a green pepper-ish taste it should taste like. So is that David was great last time, turned into tequila and cigar. Yeah, there you go. It did. He's a big cigar smoker too. He's a lot of fun. he likes to watch. He watches a lot of my episodes, so I always get text messages from him afterwards where he's like, "Hey, good episode." I'm like, "Thank you." And he also looks to make sure his 1, 2, 3 organic tequilas lined up here on the shelf. The mezcal will stay on your shelf for the curve. Well, I wouldn't put it for a curveball factor. I would put it in for a drink. I mean, it's good. It has chilies in it too. Oh yeah, okay. I don't get any burn from it though. It's more of like a vegetal pepper flavor that you have to look for, not heat. Because I don't get any heat from it at all when I look at it. But I'll have to look at. I have the bottle. There's a bottle sitting right over here. But I enjoy it a lot. And if you would really want it to a change, use that as a mixer and like a martini, and try like a gin martini, but try it with that instead, or a Negroni. Like I went to a special event where Alejandro was there talking, and he invited me, and they made some cocktails. They made a Mezcal Negroni, and it was actually really good with the Mezcal Gin. And they had a couple other recipe things that they did using the Mezcal Gin in it. It was really good. So I highly recommend the Mezcal Gin, the MG Mezcal Gin, if you guys haven't tried it yet. It's very good and very different, interesting stuff to try. I'm really enjoying my El Tesoro single barrel pick from the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. There you go. All right, so Benjamin, he says, pretty new tequila fan here with some off-topic question. Looking for a decent Blanco tequila in the 25 to 45 range. I've had El Espolón and 1800 and enjoyed both. Thanks. I wouldn't recommend either of those. In the 25, why did you set a range? Why does it have to be 25 to 45? If something's really good, would you spend 50 on it? $5? Just ask for a good Blanco and then go for it. I mean, looking for a good, now not decent. I'll give you a really good Blanco for the price. Hell, you can even pick up the Luchador. The Luchador Blanco's well in that range. Another good Blancos you can look at are 1, 2, 3 organic Blanco. El Tesoro Blanco, G4 Blanco, Fortaleza Blanco. I prefer Los Altos. I prefer the Highland agave though. So there's so many Blancos in that range you can buy, and they're gonna be a lot better than decent. So Siete Leguas you can get in that range. all kinds of good stuff. Okay, yeah, so for $5, it's no big deal, right? Yeah, that's what he said. G4 Blanco's in that range. Exactly, right. You can get G4. G4's great. So is Fortaleza. I had the Patron Sherry Cast this weekend at Cactus in Bellevue. Have you tried that one? I've tasted it, but I haven't reviewed it yet. I found it to be over oaked. I didn't like it. I didn't think it was that good. I didn't find it to be that good at all. I wasn't a fan. Yeah. G4, yeah, sure. Pasote, yeah. I like G4 better than Pasote. I would. G4, I think G4 is better, personally. I was going to say Sangrotania too, but we are sold out of all the Blanco. It's gone. What are some other good Blancos in that range? There's a ton of them. Ocho Plata. You can get a good bottle of Ocho Blanco for that easily. Viva Mexico Blanco is really good. You can get even the Juan Lobo, which I just reviewed, is well within that range and very good. And you can find all these on Ferment and Still. I mean, they're all up there. Okay, how about Don Abraham and Yeho? I've tried that one too in the flight. It's okay. It's okay. It's not great. It's not fantastic. It's okay. Don Abraham's okay. I personally, out of the distillery, think that the 123 organic line is the best line out of 1480. Don Abraham's okay. The Añejo's okay. It's fine. It's not great. It's not something that I would say I want to reach for or spend money on. But if I'm in a pinch and someone says, hey, this is all I got, okay, fine. I'll drink it. Yeah, I think Yayo's more expensive. I think Yayo's up in the 50s, I think. I don't think it's that cheap. Lalo's in the 50s now. I think it's not in the 40s anymore. I think it's $50, isn't it? Yeah, he's asking for Blancos though. He's asking for Blancos. He wanted Blanco. The San Rotanian Añejo for $39.99 is ridiculously a good deal. You can't beat that. Hey, Silos Pete. Bienvenido, welcome. Glad you can make it, buddy. You guys saw my oh, you know, you want a good Blanca, $39.99. Get that Pura Sangre Fuerte Blanco. It's even high proof for $39.99 on Ferment and Still. You can't beat that one, man, for the price. Oof, it's so good. So would I say that Blanco is more for the tequila purists, all agave with no flavor distractions? Sure. It's more for anybody that really wants to taste the agave, not necessarily the purist, but more for anybody that wants to taste what tequila truly tastes like, you know. Everything else has barrel in it. So if you want to know what tequila tastes like, Blanco. But there's a lot of people now that are becoming Blanco drinkers. I mean, there's a lot of people that just prefer Blanco because it's so flavorful and so good that you don't need bourbon or whiskey from a barrel as well as the barrel notes adding flavor to it. You don't need to. Those are good for getting people that drink bourbon that like, oh, I like bourbon, transitioned over. And eventually what happens is they come and they try añejos and extra añejos and stuff. They're like, wow, this is good. And then they try a Blanco, not knowing that, okay, the white actually has some flavor in this one. And then they become addicted to all the nuances and beautiful flavors that a Blanco has. So there's a lot of people, I wouldn't call them purists, but they're tequila lovers and people that appreciate tequila and want to appreciate agave that love drinking Blancos. I do too. So I wouldn't say they have to be purists. Anybody, there's a lot of people here that I think will tell you that they enjoy a good Blanco. Are you reviewing Chimucos? Haven't had it yet. Eventually, yeah, I've got it on the list to review. I've got all the bottles, so I will be doing a review, and I just need to get it on the schedule. There's a lot of other things on the schedule as well. Without tequila, I would go more of the Plata versus the Blanco, because the Blanco is mixto. So I would go with the Plata, which is the 100% agave on that one. And I still, yeah, I think it's still in the 40s. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot you can get for that price range. I was gonna say, if you're a member of the Discord, I've got a pretty extensive list of brands that I recommend up on the Discord for everyone's reference. And I keep adding more and more stuff to it. So there's another benefit you get from being a member is you get access to this stuff. And I'm going to be, you know, people ask me to rank stuff. I'm going to start doing that, but I'm just going to do it on the Discord. So it's going to be Discord only stuff for the members, where I'll start talking about what things are really my favorite and which ones I drink the most and stuff like that. So you've always found the Blancos to be too hot. Well, that's because you're drinking the wrong Blancos. The Espolón is very hot. You're not drinking the ones that are produced correctly. If you do, there's a lot of them that aren't hot at all. So you just got to drink. You got to drink the right ones. It's just like with anything. You can drink bourbons that are really hot, and you can drink ones that are not. So it's just a matter of finding the ones that aren't hot and knowing which ones aren't hot. So that's what you need to do. It has nothing to do with it being a Blanco or not. It's or añejos or you know, when people tell me, oh, I'm more of an añejo person, I basically just say it's because you haven't tried the right Blanco yet. You can take any flaw and cover it up with an añejo and make it taste good. You can't do that with a Blanco. If it's not produced right, you're going to taste every flaw. It's going to burn or whatever. The object is to find ones that are produced right, so you don't get those burns or those off flavors and stuff that a barrel won't cover up. It's pure, unadulterated agave goodness, and it'll show any mistakes in your processes. That's one of the things that people like about Blancos is you're not drinking crap tequila, because if it wasn't produced right, it's going to taste like crap, and you're not going to like it. Or just sip tequila Blancos and come over to Flavor Town, and that's there you go. Mezcals, there you go. Super Flavor Town and Mezcals. Do you think all tequila brands should have to disclose additives? Absolutely, I do. I think they shouldn't be allowed to use them. Mezcals, let's get more mezcal. Yeah, mezcals. Yeah, mezcals are great. How would you compare the Juan Lobo Blanco to the El Luchador Blanco? Why would I need to do that? Why do I need to compare? Just buy them both. They're different. I don't want to compare. I don't compare. I don't compare them. What's this with comparing? It's like, you got to compare everything. Ooh, that's a really good orange. Why would you compare it to an apple? Why wouldn't? They're different. Why would I compare them? I like them both. I like an orange on some days, and I like an apple on some days. Some days I feel like I want an apple. Some days I feel like I want an orange. Some days I feel like I want to have Juan Lobo Blanco. Some days I feel like I want to have a Luchador Blanco. I don't want to compare them. Stop with the comparing. Just buy them both and enjoy them. They want to be loved by everybody. Is that too much to ask?
Oh my God, you're always comparing me to other people and other things. Stop it.
There you go. Have I ever had Joe's tequila? No. I have not had Joe's tequila. You know better. Come on, Silos P. You know better. You've been around long enough. You know better. There you go. Equal opportunity lover, Brooks is. There you go. My kind of guy. And I will love them for a long time.
Oh yeah, I'm a master of love, baby. I love you for a long time, baby. I just put you in my mouth and taste every little last part of you, baby. Yeah.
All right. So, any other questions or comments from you guys? That was fun. Could always count on Brooks to love everybody. That's right.
Everybody settle down. Don't make us get all crazy on you guys. Settle down. This is a peaceful operation. We expect peaceful behavior and acting like adults and not children. There is an age limit to this broadcast. You must be 21 years of age or older, or we will ask you to leave and show you the way to McDonald's where you can get a Happy Meal.
There you go. Any new barrel stave projects? Oh, no. I'm still have the other ones going. I need to pull the staves out of the cabeza back here. And the El Mexicano. So I've got those. I pulled the ones out of the Velo already, and I pulled the ones out of the Cascanes still strength Blanco. Distillation question: how do the different brands made at one distillery differentiate themselves? What does the distiller do to make them different? Well, you can create different flavor profiles by doing a bunch of different things. You can mess with the cooking time, cook longer, and try to caramelize those sugars a little more, which give you a different flavor. You can ferment with different yeast, which will produce a different flavor profile. You can play with the cuts and do the cuts at a different time, which will produce different flavor profiles as well. So there's a bunch of different things you can do to play with the flavor profiles. Some people like to play with fermentation where they'll let it go into malolactic a little bit, and so that'll produce a different flavor profile. They'll, use a different yeast or a different yeast blend that'll produce a different flavor. So there's a bunch of different things they can do. And they even use different agave, like, 8-year agave versus 5-year agave. They can, play with the age of the agave and different quality agave to produce a different flavor profile as well. So it's all up to the producers, but there's ways that they can vary it. So I know a lot of people assume that just because it comes from one distillery, that everything is the same juice, they just resell it or do something different on the aging process. That's not correct. There's different things that they can do during the making of tequila to differentiate the flavors. Now, there's only a certain amount of things they can, it's not unlimited. So at some point you got to wonder, okay, well, how many different yeast strains do you have access to, to play with the flavor? How many, how long are you going to let it ferment, and how many different variations can you do before you start duplicating them? That's a question that, only one of the tequileros can answer, I guess, but there's ways you can change up the flavor. So how does Sergio make Viva Mexico different from Los Dos? Or that's how he does it. It's different. He does different cuts. He does, he'll do 5-year agave, like Aguila Real was 8-year agave, and he went 15 days on the fermentation, which kind of produced a malolactic kind of flavor to it. And then he did his cuts differently on it. And if you watch, I go into detail on some of those about the cuts and stuff that he gave me. So it's all about, when he does the cuts during distillation, what he takes, what he leaves behind, how he ferments, how he cooks. Is it a 24-hour cook? Is it a 36-hour cook? What bricks is the on the crushing? Is he going 12 bricks, or does he go 18 bricks, or does he go 6 bricks for fermentation? And then what kind of yeast is he using? Champagne yeast? Is he using a combination of champagne and wild, or is he using a proprietary blend like he did with Juan Lobo? So it's like, okay, well, that all depends. what kind of flavor profile. And he's a chemist where he plays with it, where he, and then everyone takes notes. He takes notes about what he did, so he can tell you what levels he did the cuts in and stuff like that. And so just by playing with those different aspects of the process, he can produce a different flavor profile. And if you tried those, you'll notice they're all very different. They're all very different. They're not the same by any means. Aguila Real stands out as being extremely different from Los Dos. Los Dos stands out from being different from Viva Mexico, and Juan Lobo stands out from being different from all of them. So they're all very different, and it's just with him playing with fermentation and distillation and cooking and crushing. He just plays with the process and mixes them up. Okay, so maybe one brand uses super ripe cream of the crop 8 year, and the other might get whatever they... No, yeah, or it's like, okay, they're using 5 year agave with a lower bricks count, where one of them may be paying extra for the extra good agave, because, they'll use what you're willing to pay for, right? So it's like they're not going to pull the super ripe 8 year agave and try to sell it to someone that's not willing to pay for it for their brand. If somebody's like, let's use a different agave, they'll get whatever you're willing to pay for. So if they use a 5 or 6 year agave, which 1414 does, or they'll use 8 year agave, which they do. I mean, they have their own estate. They have them growing at different levels on there. They'll use them, but then also they'll crush them different ways. They'll crush to get a 12 bricks or a 16 bricks or a 20 bricks on the sugar content of the Mosto. And then they'll ferment using champagne yeast, which is like Yayo champagne yeast. There's some that are a blend of champagne and wild yeast. There's other ones that are proprietary yeast that they got and tested. It's all different things like that. And then cuts. Are they cutting more of the heads and not as much of the colas? Are they taking any of the how much of the hearts with the heads? Are they are they leaving the heads and taking mostly just hearts and then a little bit of the colas? It's all that stuff. And so what they'll do is sometimes too, they'll pull the heads and they'll pull the colas, and then they'll pull the corazon, the hearts, and they'll add colas and heads to it to blend it to create a flavor profile as well too. So there's a bunch of different things they can do. They have the ability to do it. It's just whether the master distillers interested enough in jumping into that type of stuff to make it. So I knew different yeast and different cuts would be important. I never thought about cooking temps and times and agave age and quality. Very interesting stuff. Yeah, it's good. How do they get higher bricks? And why is more not always better? How do they get higher bricks for the Mosto? They'll use more agave and less water. So it's like I can use more agave for a smaller volume and I'll get a higher bricks count on it of water. And so the more water you add into the mix, the lower your bricks is going to be, because your sugar content, sugar to water ratio is going to be off. And why is more not always better? Because sometimes it can really stress the yeast. So it all depends on what kind of fermentation yeast you're using as to what bricks your Mosto should be. Because there's times where yeast at certain alcohol contents will start to die, and other ones can flourish at a higher alcohol content. So it all depends on what kind of yeast you're using and what its alcohol tolerance is, as well as what kind of how it functions as a yeast in eating the sugar. So some of them don't do better in higher bricks mixes. Some do better in higher bricks mixes. So it all depends on the yeast. That's the main thing with bricks, is they're looking for the yeast's ability to finish the fermentation without producing any off stuff. So some yeast, if you push them too hard, like for example, even turbo yeast, which some places use when they use diffusers, when it'll crank out and it'll go up very high it'll go very high on the alcohol content, but it cranks out sulfur as a byproduct. So you can actually have it taste sulfury by pushing that yeast and giving it a lot of sugar. And so that's why, you know, a lot of diffuser guys use it, because it does it quickly. And they don't mind a little bit of sulfur flavor in there and the stuff. And that's too what can give you your headaches and hangovers and stuff on some of that. And when they turbo yeast it, and it gets done, it finishes fast. It finishes in 24 hours. Where other fermentation yeast they use will take 4 days, 5 days, sometimes even longer, depending on the temperatures. It takes its time, but it also cleans up after itself. So it doesn't leave as much byproducts, fermentation byproducts. There's some housekeeping that some of the yeast will do depending on what yeast you're using and how effective it is during the process. So how do they get higher bricks, and why is more not always? Oh, is that what I just did? That's what I just did. Okay, yeah. So they get higher bricks by just using bigger agave, more sugar based agave, or they'll use more agave, less water. Is if sometimes they'll just recycle the same water too and just add more agave into it. So if they did a certain amount of agave for one batch, and then they say, well, we need to up the bricks on it, they'll add more agave in the oven and cook it, and then use the same amount of water that they used, just crushing more agave into it, which will increase the bricks count of the mosto. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? I hope I'm making sense. So it's just like, hey, it's just like taking water and adding sugar to it, right? So you add a cup of sugar to it, and it's gonna be a certain bricks, right? So if you want to increase the bricks level of it, you add more sugar to the water, right? So that's all they're doing, is just you adding more agave to increase the bricks, increase the sugar content of the water. So bricks is the count of your sugar. It's your sugar count. So, or another way they could do it too is they could just decrease the water content, use less water, use the same agave, but that cuts their yield down. They want the same yield, they just want a higher bricks count if they're looking to make a change like that. Am I confusing everybody? I hope I'm not confusing everybody. Perfect sense. Okay, super interesting stuff. Yeah, this is the real nitty-gritty stuff that's super interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, fermentation's a monster in itself, and there's a lot of things that you have to look at with fermentation, and that's one thing too. We were talking about how the different flavor profiles and stuff. The seasons have a lot to do with it too. You talked to Salvador last time, and he talked about doing it in the rainy season when it's cold. Well, when yeast are cold, it takes them longer to ferment, and they produce a different flavor because of it, because they're colder than if it's warmer. And temperature is a big thing. And when I was sitting with Salvador Cruz, when I was at 1414, when I was there in January, it was cold out. It was brisk. And so he actually looked at me and said, this is the best fermentation temperature right now. Is about 10 Celsius is the best fermentation temperature. I think it's 60 degrees. Or 50 degrees, 60, something like that. So I was like, oh, really? Why? He said, because the yeast produce the least amount of byproducts during fermentation at this temperature. Yeah, it takes a little longer, but I get a cleaner fermentation that way. So he can literally, if he wanted to play his things a little bit, he could adjust the temperature a little bit and have the yeast produce a different flavor profile from taxing a little more on the temperature side of things. So there's different things that they can do to change and alter the flavor profile. So when people say, oh, it's the same juice, they just put it in a barrel or whatever. That's not true in all cases. It might be true in some. I'm sure there's some places that just make huge batches of Blanco, and they're just like, oh, we'll just throw additives in it and we'll just put it in a barrel or whatever and create your flavor profile. I'm sure there's a lot that do that, but there's a lot of the good ones that don't and won't do that. So That's why skilled distillers are so important. They're able to reproduce a tequila over and over again and get tequila nearly tasting the same. Well, no, I wouldn't say nearly tasting the same, but they can shoot for the same flavor profile. Yeah, like Sergio Cruz keeps copious notes. He has a notebook, and it's funny because I'll say, "Hey, I just found this." And he's like, "Oh my God, where'd you find that?" I'll say, "Oh, I found it. I was wanting to know." He's like, "Oh, well, it's been like 4 years since I did that one. Let me go find my notes." And then a couple days later, he'll come back to me and say, "Okay, I found this in my notebook. This is what we did," and blah 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 blah. And then I know how they produced it. So he keeps a notebook of all the different batches and what kind of results and stuff they produce. So then he can go back and reference that, and he can intermix things too if he wants to produce even a better, different flavor profile. I figured I'd try to ask a question besides my normal, when is my Cuscatus? All right, well, that was a good question. So I hope I gave you the answer you're looking for. Do the distillers measure humidity? A lot of the distilleries don't seem to completely disclose. No, I don't think they measure humidity. Humidity is not that big of a thing because it's the most is wet. Everything's happening inside. It's not like there's something outside. They do look at things like raining because it does affect how much water is in the agave when they're harvesting it and using it, and that can affect the cooking and stuff of it. So normally during rainy season, there's a lot of downtime. They don't really produce. So it's like if you go to visit, during rainy season, a lot of times you'll find out that the distilleries are in maintenance mode where they're cleaning and doing stuff and not really producing because the water content in the agave is higher than they want it because it's been raining a lot. So I'm sure Cofradia and Casa Maestri absolutely don't. Yeah, I'm sure too. I don't think so either. They just produce, all their Blanco taste is the same. I mean, it's the way I feel. All right, well, guys, that was a great Q&A. A lot of good questions this time. I got to go because I've got the members-only Q&A happening immediately following this, and I want to see who wins the race to get there first. So there's always a race to see who gets there. It says first on the chat. So, like I always say, life is too short to drink bad tequila. So make sure you join the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective so you can get some of the really good stuff that we're bringing in just for members. All right. Have a good Monday. We'll see you tomorrow with Salvador Chavez from La Luna and Gran de Vejo. Bye, guys. Salud.